Hi, my name is Eddie H. I'm founder and president of the Skid Row Community Coalition. I'm also a member of the Los Angeles Community Action Network, LA CAN, and I'm also a member of United Coalition AIDS Prevention Project, from which we are filming this at this particular time. I just want to talk a little bit about the Skid Row Neighborhood Council and why we're trying to form it. There is a neighborhood council in this area. It's called the Downtown Los Angeles Neighborhood Council. It's been existing for 15 years. Literally, it has done nothing in terms of addressing the issues and the concerns of individuals who live in Skid Row. For 15 years, they've only looked after people that live west of Main, the stakeholders, the shareholders, the new residences, and those that live in Los. We've tried time and time again to even get issues pertaining that were relevant to our community on the agenda, and at each turn we were always thwarted. We found out, and by numerous attempts to be a part of that neighborhood council, that literally we were unwelcomed. Thus, this movement now to form our own neighborhood council is basically and solely due to the fact that we need a voice to the voiceless. We need a voice to the voices that have been impotent, that have been non-existent for at least 15 years. So we're taking on the mantle of being a voice for this community. For we understand that if we don't speak up for this community, no one would. My work as an activist, as an advocate, is something that I haven't just come to start doing, but it has been ingrained in me, I think, since birth. I think it's written into my DNA to fight for those who are not able to fight for themselves, unwilling to fight for themselves, or just don't know how to fight for themselves. So I think it's incumbent of me to be an individual to step to the front and be that whistleblower, to be that voice to the voices again. Here in this space, we do quite a few things. Like I said, I have associations and affiliations with several different organizations, even with the organization that I founded, which was founded out of a situation that was very inhumane in the first place. I'm not going to get too much into that, but there's a need for more advocacy. I've always said that if there were other advocacy groups, 20 more, there still wouldn't be enough to address the issues of Skid Row. Skid Row is a place that has a very unique dynamic. It is a microcosm. When people talk about a melting pot, it is a microcosm of what a melting pot should look like. Sure, it has issues. Sure, it has situations that need to be addressed. But like any other community, let's not misunderstand it. Skid Row is a community. Like any other community, those issues should be adequately addressed by individuals who are coming to the forefront and saying that the individuals in this community should be treated humanely, as if any other community in this city, in this state, or in this country. We come today saying that what happens west of Main should not be diametrically opposed to what happens east of Main. And in that vein, I'm saying if you have stores with adequate fruits and vegetables in them west of Main, why not we have those east of Main? If you have safe spaces, green spaces, clean spaces west of Main, why not east of Main? If you have trash cans that the city spends $2,500 to $3,500 for, but when you come east of Main, we've been fighting for years just to get trash cans that are generally very low in price. If you have restrooms west of Main, why not restrooms, adequate facilities east of Main? Water fountains, so on and so forth. So we're talking about the disparities that exist in downtown, and especially when you speak of Skid Row. It has been a place that has been forgotten in time, it seems like. That time has stood still in terms of individuals standing up and affording this community to have just the basic necessities. The council member of this district, Jose Huizar, this is the 14th district, and Skid Row is part of the district. He has made one of his signature moments is bringing back Broadway. So there's been billions and billions of dollars spent bringing back Broadway, but he hasn't spent one red cent on bringing back Skid Row. And I think that's egregious, it's atrocious, and it's unacceptable. So we're calling him out today as well to say that if in fact you are the council member for downtown LA, that means that you are the council member, the council person for all of downtown, and Skid Row is included in that. So this is just inherent how this community has been left out of any progressive moves that have been made over the last decade or so, how this community has sorely missed being included in anything that looks similarly to change. We understand that there is a plan afoot, a movement, if you will, to gentrify this area. And we talk about gentrification as if it's something that you're just moving property from one place to another. No, these are human lives. These are human beings who should be afforded the same respect that any other human being should be afforded. So that's what we do down here. We fight for those individuals who are deemed to be throwaways. We fight for those individuals whose lives are not taken seriously. And we fight for those individuals for it's the right thing to do. We understand that the fight for justice is a just fight. And Dr. Martin Luther King once said that an individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his own individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. So these organizations that I mentioned earlier, we don't fight for ourselves, but we fight for the people of this community that we so dearly love. We fight for the people of this community that we engage with on a daily basis. We fight for the people of this community that we have intimate relationships with. And we say to anyone outside this community, come on down to Skid Row. Get involved, understand the nexus of what's going on here, and don't look at it from a peripheral viewpoint, but look at it from the prism in which it stands. There's much love here. There's much intellect here. I've met some of the most intelligent people in my lives right here on Skid Row, and I will put them up against any individual in this country and in this world in terms of the intellectual capital and intellectual property that is on Skid Row. There's a lot of talent here, but I'll get back to this point. There's also a lot of love here. So in closing, I just want to say to all of those naysayers and individuals who think that Skid Row is what the narrative that they've heard for so many years, until you step foot in Skid Row, you don't know what this neighborhood is really about. And I say that even to the people west of Main. They might step east of Main only to attend a meeting, and immediately they go back west of Main. But these are the people that are making decisions for the lives of individuals who live in Skid Row. I think that is very unfair, for if you don't know the product, who would buy it? If you don't know what's in the packaging, who would buy it? And if you don't know an individual's plight, who can determine what is best for them? And I thank you. And everyone come out and vote yes on April the 6th at the James Wood Community Center. Vote yes for a Skid Row Neighborhood Council, for who can address the issues and concerns of this neighborhood other than those individuals who know what this neighborhood is all about. So I think I know this vote is about self-reliance and self-determination, and that is something that everybody could adhere to and agree with. It's a good thing. So why not vote yes? And on Thursday, you have a chance for your voices to be heard and your bodies to be shown. So show up at the polls and stand with us because we need your support. I thank you, and see you Thursday. Bye.